So another major piece of work that I did was around the um, Boroondara Council. So they have a art centre that's opened up, the Hawthorn Art Centre. So if you have a look at that one, which I've included the Hot House Media and Events media targets. So the Stonnington Council had met with one of the directors and had given her a PR briefing. So HME had developed a publicity plan according to that briefing. So I had to work on that, think of ideas of who we would contact relating to this public space. So the new space had a lot of stakeholders that would be involved. So there'd be caterers, exhibitionists, artists, the public, seniors, kids. So there was a wide range of target audiences. So I had to brainstorm a lot of that. So that was all documented by myself. And then from there, we had to look at what media avenues we would sell that to, who would want to know about this new venue that was opening in the community. So I was actually surprised at how many people we had to pitch that idea to, and all different magazines and publishing places that we would have to pitch that to. So you can see in this PowerPoint that we'd pitch to print. So this included short lead publications. So that would be the bigger newspapers like Fairfax Community Papers, the Herald, Fairfax Community Papers, weekly reviews and things like that. Then there would also be mid-lead news media. So targeted mid-lead magazines reaching the varied demographics, including children, students, singles, families and seniors. So this would be really target audiences of, or maybe even hospitality audiences as well. So mid-lead, daily newspapers as well, so the bigger newspapers, so the Herald Sun, the Age, Australian, etc. Then weekend papers and supplements, so what you would find in the Herald Sun, so like Weekend Life and Style and Magazine that are found in the bigger newspapers. And then there's other things, this is the broadcast and online, but I really focused on, and I did do a little bit of online, so things like blogging, Time Out, Broadsheet, who would be the editor, who would be the contact person that you would send a press release to. So that was another big, probably the second biggest task that I was involved in, and that was quite interesting. But again, because I did it for about 3 or 4 weeks, it did get quite time consuming and a bit like data entry after a while, and a lot of phone calls and entering information into a system that was not hadn't been updated for ages. I have learnt that the media contacts, editors and things like that do change quite a lot, so these lists have to be updated all the time. I think this is something that HHME gets interns to do a lot as well. So while you are learning, it's not very hands-on. I did enjoy, I guess, just calling, like Bauer Media or somewhere like that in Sydney. A lot of calls were to Sydney to, speak to someone at Vogue or at wide range of magazines. So I was actually surprised at how many magazines I had to call. So and just updating this list so that HME could send out a press release to the most relevant person at all of these establishments. So there's not too much more to say about that. That was mainly the role for that. So as I mentioned, that was quite a lot of data entry to get quite monotonous. So I did feel that one of the other tasks that I did was a bit more hands-on, and I got a bit more involved in the team, and that was in one of my first weeks, when we got an email to read through a PR briefing that EA Sports had sent. So that is this PowerPoint over here. So the PR agency brief from EA Mobile. So I'll just stop this one and continue on in a second.